Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. Take us, of course, you continue the journey of Transformers Prime. This is Season 1, Episode 2, Darkness Rising, Part 2. Now, first episode last week was pretty good in my opinion, a pretty good start. I did have some issues, especially with introducing kids, especially the kids. Like, I feel like human characters, I get it to an extent, but they're kids, so I don't know for sure. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Okay, I'm open to see what they're going to do. Like, I don't want to assume and really prejudge too much, but to me, we'll see. I think the overall design and the look of the show is pretty interesting. There are some moments, especially as I was kind of like paying attention when they were like in the town area. It's very like just basically empty, and I get it because the more you animate stuff and the more you put people in the background or whatever, it's going to cost more money and take more time. So I get that there's, you know, some cutting around and certain things they're doing. But I liked overall what they did in terms of setting it up. Now, I wasn't expecting Megatron at the end, but literally Megatron shows, I have returned. Like, I thought it was going to be not in the first episode, but here we are. And the fact that The Rock played a character that died 2 minutes in, which is kind of interesting as well. One thing to note as we continue forward. So, I had a copyright issue with episode 1. It was up for a couple days, no problem, and then I got hit with a claim. Well, a claim, but a copyright, basically, claim situation to where they're basically saying I can't monetize the video anymore. I have disputed it, and as I'm recording episode 2 here on Thursday evening, 2 days before the release on Saturday, they have not responded yet. So I'm going to do the oval recording, which I've done on a variety of other videos on the channel and a variety of other shows. So I'm going to do the oval recording to kind of mask a little bit, like the full screen a little bit. If you've seen my content before or any other kind of reactions, you may have seen me do this before for like movie reactions and other shows, like My Adventures of Superman or the last couple seasons of The Flash or Arrow, and I've done it for a variety of other stuff as well. So I'm going to see what that does in terms of copyright to see if we can avoid copyright problems, because I want to continue and do the show and not have to really worry about copyright issues much, or at least try to avoid them as much as I can. So that's going to be happening moving forward, and we'll see, and hopefully that will fix the issue. So it'll cut off the screen a little bit, but not to the point where you can't see anything. So let's dive in. Let's check it out in episode 2, guys. Darkness Rising Part 2. Let's go.
The drones have been mining without pause during your absence.
Now that I have returned, I will issue the commands. My army will come. But my time away has yielded a more intriguing means of materializing them.
Unicron the Destroyer.
Dark Energon.
Legend tells that it holds the power to revive the dead.
That's a pretty big reveal.
Can we go now?
Are you insane? I'm living a dream here in Botswana.
They have no protective shell. If they get underfoot, they will go squish.
It's Agent Fowler.
Wait, Agent who?
I thought we were the only humans who knew about you guys.
7 wrecks, 34 fender benders, a 3-hour traffic jam. Anything you care to get up your tin chest, Prime?
Situation under control. We are your best, possibly your only defense against the Decepticon threat. Military involvement will only result in catastrophe.
Make it worse, yeah.
Perhaps you can condone widespread human casualties, Agent Fowler.
Pretty big bearings for a human.
For a human, yeah.
Concerned for his world, Bulkhead.
The fact that we're gonna try to bring him back is kind of crazy.
Power born of darkness.
Oh shit. Just making him angry.
If there's any chance Cliff's alive...
Ratchet.
He was alive for a few seconds.
Autobots, roll out.
Roll out. And again, they're gone. They're gone, yeah. Oh, they're still there, okay. Oh, they're just walking in. Okay, they're just gonna walk in. Holy shit. Okay. Kicking ass, taking names. That was cool. I was like, where are they going?
Don't touch that either.
Don't touch anything.
Anything in here we can touch?
He's not too happy.
Fix that.
Oh,
Really?
really?
You know,
Now try.
He fixed it. I thought the drill was going to be more of an issue, but no.
Maximum overdrive.
Maximum. Oh shit, here we go. Okay. Doing some Mario Kart racing kind of. Okay, this is pretty crazy. Just fire.
I need more time to prepare an appropriate reception for my old friend. Ready the ship for departure.
It's Cliff. I have a visual.
Well,
We'll cover you.
not Cliff, but yeah. They're really bad shots. They're just really bad shots.
Let's get you home, partner.
Not Cliff, see? Yeah.
The joint's gonna blow. Autobots, roll out.
Roll out, get the fuck out. He wouldn't say that, but you know. Damn. Big explosion. They're so lucky they have that, or else they wouldn't make it back. Oh shit.
Cutting it a bit close.
A little bit.
Cliff charm.
Not Cliff. At least
Not Cliff. It was like a zombie Cliff.
he was mutated.
Dizzy. Robots who get dizzy? Robots with emotions.
Emotions, yep.
Who can die?
What is this?
What is what? Oh.
Don't know.
Well, if I don't call my mom, like now, I'm pretty sure the cops will be out looking for me.
Bulkhead, accompany Miko home.
Awesome! My host baron's so freak!
Well, I'm pretty sure my girl trouble started the night I met you.
Well, oh, wait a minute.
Cons!
No, Mom!
Jackson Darby, we've talked about this.
I know.
I mean,
and
you
he had to,
don't know.
he had to buy it.
I worry about you enough when you're not here.
I may have been a kid when I bought this, but I'm not anymore. You always tell me to make responsible choices.
I'm glad you finally have a reason to wear your helmet every
Yeah,
single time.
Every
you
single
ride.
time, boy.
Optimus is not so easily destroyed.
Exactly.
We
You
have
didn't take them
millennia
out.
worth of battles behind us to prove it. Or perhaps, Starscream, I have not permitted myself contact enough.
Kid?
Oh, shit. Do we continue it again? Okay. And there you have it, guys. That was part 2, and a lot of things went down in this episode, and of course, to be continued at the end, so we're not done with this, like, Darkness Rising episodes, whatever. We still have a part 3 going on here. So, at the end of the episode, Megatron, I don't know why, but I don't think he was thinking this through clearly. So we introduced this whole idea of, like, this dark energon and something about the blood of Unicron and all this, and he decides, I'm not connected to it enough, and Starscream, living up to his name, no, don't do it, and Megatron grabs a piece and stabs himself with it, and he starts transforming, and then, of course, it cuts away. So we don't know, because we see where they're doing some testing on the little piece that was on Arcee's hand that caused her to get all dizzy and stuff, and it was, of course, from Cliffjumper, of course, when he was transformed into, like, a zombie version of himself brought back from the dead, and it worked, because Megatron was saying in the beginning, talking to Starscream, that, you know, I got all this stuff, and it's running like, there's legends that it could bring back the dead, and it literally does, but then he's testing it, and he drops a piece on the floor, and it attaches to some sort of, like, mechanical device, and now it's transformed into a little robot now running around, so, don't really know. Before we get to everything else, in terms of, like, just the majority of this episode, the human characters, the kids, but we got introduced to a kind of guy who we didn't know about all in episode 1, who's basically working for the government or whatever, and he shows up and he's kind of interrogating Optimus and kind of throwing shit at him because, like, this happened, all this chaos, reports of this, and this, like, basically saying you're exposing yourself. There's a lot of, like, strange reports about what's happening, and the guy's being a dick, but at the same time, he has a point because basically the entire world doesn't know about the involvements of Autobots or Decepticons. They don't know anything about this. So there's a little bit of back and forth. The kids, again, as we're continuing, we're now only 2 episodes in, but we got a little bit more of the kids in this episode, and once again, I'm still not 100% sure about them in this show. Still gonna give it time. I'm not gonna, just like I said, after 2 episodes, assume I'm not going to like this, but I really just don't, like, I get the point of, like, okay, they're involved in the story because now they're basically, their lives are threatened because they were involved with the Autobots in episode 1, and so the Decepticons could come after them, and I feel like it's probably gonna end up happening, so that's why they're kind of setting this up to where we have different Autobots following, the kids around or whatever and protecting them and kind of, being in their lives essentially now, with Arcee being with Jack and everything. So we have all this going on, but to me, I just don't really see how this is going to benefit the show right now. And I'm saying this as someone who is optimistic about the show because I think the other elements are working for the show in terms of the Autobots that we have, Starscream and now Megatron, and adding more to like the mystery in terms of the blood of Unicron and this dark Energon and all this, and what are the Decepticons really building up to now, because Megatron's back, but what is the real end goal here? There's a lot of things to look forward to, and as we're continuing in the action sequences in the episode here, especially when they're in the mine or whatever and they're going against all those like minions of the Decepticons, great action, a lot of great action moments throughout there. So to me, I'm just being honest about the kids stuff in terms of the humans, because like I'm enjoying the show, even though I'm just not really sure how they're really going to fit in or really matter, because to me, I don't really care a lot about the kid characters. I just don't care about them. I really don't. They're trying to really push Jack and Arcee's dynamic because Jack is 16 years old. And of course, we get introduced to his mom in the episode, and then she's complaining, well, how could you even afford this? Like, what's going on? And so Arcee's going through a lot of stuff because she had a connection with Cliffjumper, of course, The Rock's character, who was brought back kind of as a zombie, which was crazy to see that go down. But we then have where we're going to basically have Arcee and Jack be kind of at odds with each other, and then they're going to start connecting, if you will. And it's kind of, it's obvious. It's very obvious. That's what they're doing here. But to me, at this moment, I just don't really care about the characters, the kid characters that much. I care about the Autobots. Interesting to see what the Decepticons are doing. I like what they're kind of doing there in terms of the dynamic between Starscream and Megatron. So I'm really excited for what's going to be developing between the two sides of the bots. The kids, yeah, I need to see more, but it's really going to be hard to win me over. I'll be honest. I'm going to be very blunt with you. It's going to be very hard to win me over, because to me, what is selling this show and what got me excited about this show is the actual Transformers, the actual Decepticons, the Autobots. Like, that's what is really selling me on this show. The kid human characters, it's just going to be a tough sell. It is. I don't know what's going to happen next, though. I think the concept of Megatron basically trying to connect more with the the dark Energon, I don't know what that means for his character. Like, is that going to make him kind of a zombie Megatron? Like, I don't think it would, because he's alive. So I'm guessing it's going to cause him to be more powerful or become more powerful. He maybe have more abilities. I don't know. They also probably weren't thinking as well when they basically brought Cliffjumper back to life with using that, it like sunk into his body too, and he became a zombie version, because it turned back on his connection to the computers that was being used back at their base for the Autobots. So I guess they didn't think that through, that if we test this out on him to see if it actually works, and it does, it brings him back as a zombie. He's attacking minions and stuff and going crazy. The minions of the Decepticons, he's going crazy. I guess they didn't think, oh wait, they could probably track us, which the device they used to send them, because when Autobots were sent to the mine and they just went through some sort of portal and it can just magically take them, it's convenient, and I think they're going to take that away at some point. I think because it's too convenient, unless it is a plot device that has to always be there, or else because the Decepticons have a giant flying ship. So if the Autobots didn't have this device, the show wouldn't exist, or at least the way it does right now. So maybe that portal will always exist in a way, and maybe a plot point down the road will take it out to make it even more at stakes in terms of what's going on in the story. Maybe not. No idea. But in terms of the first 2 episodes, I'm enjoying it. Have the issues with the kid human characters, but I'm enjoying what they're doing so far. And I'm curious to see more because, like, I like the fact that in episode 2, we got introduced to this idea of the Dark Energon and stuff we didn't know about in episode 1 because Megatron didn't return until the very end of episode 1. But I like the fact that there's more mystery and potential things they can introduce as we're going along, because this Dark Energon and stuff, they could have waited to introduce this way later into the season 1, because I think there's like 20-ish or something episodes of season 1, so they could have waited a bit to introduce this concept, but they give it episode 2 right after the return of Megatron. They could have had Megatron return at the end of this episode 1, which I wasn't expecting, and then maybe episode 4, 5, or 6, boom, this thing of the blood of Unicron and the Dark, all this. But no, they give it episode 2. So they must be building to something that needs a lot of time to build to for season 1. And that's a good thing, because I, at the same time, understand the point of getting to something quickly. I also understand the point of letting things breathe. But for this show, I'm guessing that based on how it's structured, we gotta go. We don't want to waste time. So I appreciate that. We'll see if that actually pays off in terms of, we don't want to waste time. We're doing this now because we're going go, 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 go. So we'll see. But anyways, guys, that was episode 2. I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts about the episode 2. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.